Hi, everybody. It's Miss Jane again. We have a big holiday coming up. It's the birthday of the world. It's called Rosh Hashanah. And I'm going to tell you a story now about Rosh Hashanah, the birthday of the world. This is Daniel. Daniel loves Rosh Hashanah. He could wear his brand new clothes for the holiday, and on the way to the synagogue, he would step on the fallen leaves, crunch, 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 crunch. He could almost hear the sound of the shofar, the horn. Tekiah, Tekiah. And the horn seemed to say, "Wake up, wake up." Best of all, everyone in his neighborhood would stop to wish him Shana Tova, Happy New Year. Tekiah, Tekiah. How many more days till Rosh Hashanah? Daniel asked his papa one bedtime. He knew it was soon. Mama was already mixing the dough for the round braided egg challah. For the egg challah. 2 more days, said his papa. Now come to bed, you two. Come on, come to bed. Naomi, Leah, come to bed. Oh, gee, why do I have to go to bed so early? Why do I have to go to bed when they do, said Naomi. I mean, I am the oldest. Ah, because I only have time for one bedtime story, said Papa. What's it going to be? Oh, said Daniel, please tell us the story about Rosh Hashanah. I know the story about Purim, and I know the story about Passover. Oh, I know that one, said Naomi. Rosh Hashanah, it's the birthday of the world. You're right, Papa said. On Rosh Hashanah, we celebrate the time when God created all things. On my birthday, I have a party, said Daniel. Could we have a party for the world? But what would you do at a party like that? Said Papa. Well, I could have a cake and burn candles and invite, I'll invite the whole world. Oh, please, me too, said Leah. Of course you too, said Daniel, and he pulled affectionately on Leah's blankie. Could we have such a party, Papa? A party for the world? A birthday party for the world? That is a stupid idea, said Naomi. Listen, said Papa, talk to me about it tomorrow. Good night, kids. Good night, Dad. Next day, Daniel hadn't forgotten the birthday party of the world. Mama, he asked, can we go to the bakery so I can buy the biggest cake Mr. Gutman has for Rosh Hashanah? Honey, why do you want to buy a cake? My Naomi and I are making those nice little honey cakes. Oh, it's for the birthday of the world. I'm having a party, Daniel told her. Oh, you can't have a birthday party for the world, said Naomi disgustingly. It's much too big. The world is much too big for our house. Daniel looked all around the house, in the kitchen, in the living room, in the bedroom, even in the bath. There wasn't enough room for the whole world. Maybe Naomi was right. I know, said Daniel. I'll ask Mr. Gutman, the baker, if he knows all about parties and birthday cakes and stuff. I'll ask him. Naomi walked Daniels to the bakery. She shook her head at him at every other step, but Daniel didn't notice. He bought the biggest cake in the bakery window with the money that Mama had given to him. Mr. Gutman gave him a few pennies back for change. It's for the birthday party of the world, he told Mr. Gutman. Rosh Hashanah is the world's birthday. Said Mr. Gutman. In all the years I've been selling challah and honey cakes for Rosh Hashanah, I never knew that, said the baker. How do you make a party for the world? Well, gee, I was going to ask you that, said Daniel. Maybe you should ask your grandfather instead, said Mr. Gutman. He is a rabbi and
He should know if anybody does.
Oh, I will, said Daniel. But please, Mr. Goodman, will you come to my party?
Don't worry, I'll come, said Mr. Goodman. Maybe you'll want some candles before you go for the birthday cake.
Oh, I forgot. He counted out his pennies. 1, 2, 3. You don't even have enough for 1 box, said Naomi.
Here, said Mr. Goodman, take 4 boxes. It's on me. After all, the world is no young chicken.
Thank you, said Daniel. Daniel and Naomi put the boxes of candles in their pockets and together carried the cake down the street to Grandpa's house. They knocked on the door.
Just a minute, I'll be right there.
Grandpa! Grandpa! Hi, Grandpa. Since it's Rosh Hashanah and Rosh Hashanah is the world's birthday, I want to make a birthday cake for the world. Have you ever seen a party for the whole world?
No, said Grandpa. I've never heard of anyone making a birthday party for the whole world. Isn't the world too big to come to a party?
See, I told you, said Naomi.
Grandpa looked thoughtfully. There is some things that you can do, though, said Grandpa. On Rosh Hashanah, people like to make cards for each other and wish each other a good new year. Maybe you could make a card for the world and wish for a good year for everyone and everything.
But the party tonight.
Don't worry, said Grandpa gently as he touched Daniel's shoulder. I will come. You can show me the card then.
I will, Grandpa, said Daniel. He and Naomi walked back to their house, Daniel carefully carrying the cake. Now what are we going to do with it? Asked Naomi. We'll still have the party, said Daniel. Naomi put her hand on her hip. You can't do that. You can't have a party without a guest of honor. Don't worry, answered Daniel. After supper, Daniel began to work on the card. As he drew, he remembered the story that Papa had told him about how God created the world and how God made darkness and light first, and then the sky, and then the land, and then all the other things. Daniel drew the stars, and he drew the sun, and he drew the moon in his picture. He made fish, he made animals, he made people. When he'd finished his drawing, he thought about his mother giving him the money for the cake. He thought about the baker and the boxes of candles. He thought about his grandfather and the card and all the things that God had created. And suddenly, he knew how he could have a party for the whole world. He had a great idea. That night, Mr. Goodman and Grandpa came to Daniel's house. Daniel led them all outside. Mama, Papa, Leah, Naomi, Mr. Goodman, and Grandpa. Why are we going outside? Naomi asked. You'll see, Daniel answered. He walked in front of them carrying the big birthday cake into the night, close to the stars and the trees and the grass and the animals and the whole world. He put the cake down on the grass and he reached into his pocket for the candles. He began to place them on the cake. Naomi was the first to understand. I guess you can have a party for the world after all. Let me help you. Thanks, said Daniel. When they were finished, Mama lit the candles. So many, Leah said. That's because the world is so old, answered Daniel. The candles blazed against the darkness. Ooh, look how beautiful the cake looks in the dark. The stars are in the sky, the moon. What a beautiful birthday party for the world. I know, said Daniel. Let's sing happy birthday to the world. 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 Just when they finished the song, a strong breeze came along. Whoosh! It blew out all the candles. Daniel looked up at the sky and smiled. I hope you remember to make a wish. The end. Happy birthday, world. What a great party.